Hello there everyone, and I hope you're ready for a brand new series of the As I See It series. You see, back in June I presented a poll to see which 4 movies I should go ahead and cover next. Jurassic Park swung in for the victory. And don't think that the losing movies won't be looked at, but we have 2 different trilogies that we gotta work through here. So let's talk about Jurassic Park, shall we? I don't think that this film needs much introduction, but for the hell of it, let's go ahead and reflect on this gem of a film and see how it became so significant. Prior to '93, obviously interest in dinosaurs had existed. There was just a whole catalog of films like King Kong, Lost World, The Land That Time Forgot, and countless other films that platformed our prehistoric friends. You see, all of these movies were a sheer product of their environment at the time of what we knew about dinosaurs, depicting the then knowledge that we had. Just like aliens and extraterrestrial life, us humans have been obsessed with the what if humans encountered a species existing 65 million years before we even were a thing. As a kid, I'm gonna be really honest about something. Dinosaurs were a pure foundation of my childhood. Before Alien Predator, before Godzilla, there was dinosaurs. That young kid just picking that one personality and making it his personality trait for the rest of his life. Yes, that was me. With such movies like Land Before Time, We're Back, Prehysteria, and don't allow me to forget the TV series Dink the Little Dinosaur. If it had dinosaurs in it, I would have to see it. Didn't matter how campy it was, it would be mine to view. Based on the legendary 1990 Michael Crichton novel titled
Billy and the Clonosaurus.
Oh, you have got to be kidding, sir.
Nah, we're talking Jurassic Park. The absolute bar in terms of dinosaur films. So allow me to go ahead and explain this. Jurassic Park was just not a big movie because of dinosaurs. It did change the way of how we saw dinosaurs on screen, but it was a groundbreaking film from a perspective of where the future of CGI could take us when it comes to making films. And it wasn't self-reliant off CGI alone. And one would think this would probably be the case due to the fact that CGI was relatively new and we were just tapping into it. So why not do a full movie with CGI dinosaurs? Jurassic Park opted to not do that, but a fusion of both CGI and practical effects that hold up to this day. The film also gave us a close look at the chaos theory, a reminder that we want to believe we're always in control, but some things run beyond the power of man, illustrating man's negligence when fueled by the need to innovate, execute something new, groundbreaking that's never been accomplished before. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do things a little bit different in this video. Rather than walking through the plot step by step on this movie, I'm gonna go ahead and just give my take on this movie and reflect on it. Because I know most of you have likely seen this movie. There's no need to retell you the story of what it's about when so many people have likely seen this movie and you know why you're here. If you haven't seen Jurassic Park, then turn this video off and go watch it, please. That is not an insult towards you, I'm just saying you're missing out. This is a movie that gets more brilliant the older you get. Like any child obsessed with dinosaurs, I just wanted to see the dinosaurs. When you're 6 to 8 years old, pure dialogue doesn't do a whole lot for you. Like the dinner scene, for example. The older I get, the more this just seeps of pure brilliance and foreshadows the dark reality of this park.
Your genetic power is the most awesome force the planet's ever seen, but you wield it like a kid that's found his dad's gun.
You watch every character voice out their concern about the park and the reality of Jurassic Park. And this is despite the fact that they've seen the dinosaurs with their very own eyes and are lifelong dinosaur enthusiasts. Our 3 core characters become aware of the fact that there is plenty of room for error and push back, stating that dinosaurs have already had their shot on this earth. On the other hand, we have John Hammond, who's simply looking for endorsements for this park. John Hammond is a character obsessed with innovation. The CEO of Engine, the creator of Jurassic Park, he's so obsessed with bringing the viewers a sight that is something that would only exist in our wildest imaginations. The goal?
I wanted to show them something that wasn't an illusion. Something that was real.
He spares no expenses and insists that nothing can go wrong in wishing to wow the audience by the fact that they're witnessing a species far separated from mankind. The problem with John Hammond is he's so blinded by his own desires, he disregards the reality and responsibility of what he's created. The sheer fact that there was really no control in the first place, even though he claimed there was. And sometimes, no matter what, we can't control everything. This is where the chaos theory comes into play into this film, and how unpredictable things could be. Life will find its way no matter what, despite man ensuring that everything is in our hands. Whether it's controlling the sex of the dinosaurs or ensuring that safety is enough. It's at this point in the film where definitely the dinner scene becomes far deeper for me. As I mentioned it before, we're getting a more in-depth look in reality at the truth behind this park. So moving along, this movie does something really well that hasn't been recaptured in modern iterations of the Jurassic World films, and that's the cast of dinosaurs. With that said, let's talk about the T-Rex. Now obviously the T-Rex alone is a dinosaur icon. Whether you are a dinosaur fanatic or not, you know what it is. The T-Rex's presence is built so well, even after so much talk about it, and a complete no-show. By the time Rexy appears, you are blown away by the visuals you are seeing, and for 1993 standards, these hold up so well, whether it's CGI or animatronics, CGI that was still very new. And we're not only witnessing dinosaurs, but a glimpse into the future of how dinosaur movies should be presented. One of the grandest aspects about this scene when T-Rex debuts is the fact it has what I like to call the Jurassic Park effect. In this scene, there is no music playing to build up the tension, simply raindrops, stomping, wire snapping, and the sheer fear topped off with the Rex's bellowing. No one in this scene truly knows how to predict the next action of the T-Rex. It's pure cinematic art, reminding me sometimes that a frantic OST isn't needed to play at a constant. I feel like this is an art that is generally being lost in movies these days. Yes, you want to go ahead and platform your music and your original soundtrack for what you're presenting in this film. It helps build up the tension, obviously. There are some films that needed that epic score. Take a look at The Avengers. But other times, the simplest things can tell the story on screen. Every time you see Rexy or know she's in the area, you are on the edge of your seat. And this is something that Fallen Kingdom and Dominion have failed to do. With a lot of the time in those films, it feels like dinosaurs are just being thrown at the viewer. Look at it this way, Dominion had a good roster of dinosaurs, but none of them feel memorable. Some of them just appear because it's like we have a feeling that, hey, we got to have X amount of dinosaur screen time, so we gotta throw them at the viewers. Jurassic Park, on the other hand, the original film, is far more condensed, with a great roster. We have the key icons like Triceratops, Brachiosaurus, T-Rex, and less known dinosaurs, say like the Dilophosaurus, which became very known because of this film. And the Velociraptors are presented the exact same way as the T-Rex, with the exception that we are actually seeing one being born. But even if it's a more cute and wholesome moment of birth, this film foreshadows the terror and the threat that this cunning intelligent species contains. Always thinking, learning, adapting to this new environment. If there's one thing that hasn't fazed me about this film is the fact that yes, we know the dinosaurs are inaccurate. In fact, the dinosaurs were inaccurate for the time being when this movie came out. Lots has changed in the dinosaur world since the release of this film, new knowledge known to the public. But why has Jurassic Park aged so well despite the changes? For me, I go in accepting to the fact this film offers the fact that dinosaurs were cloned by extracting dinosaur DNA from prehistoric mosquitoes encased in amber. Our DNA gaps are filled with modern frogs and various other animals, which reminds me these dinosaurs aren't supposed to be the exact dinosaurs from our known knowledge. It's almost as if this is like an alternate universe in a sense in this film. During the dig scene, we see Dr. Grant identify a Velociraptor fossil when clearly this is too big to be a Velociraptor in the first place. I've seen some say maybe he misidentified it, but I really don't believe that myself. But it seems to be in this film's universe, this is indeed a fossil of a Velociraptor, when in our reality, Velociraptors tend to be much smaller rather than what we know as a Deinonychus, which is a larger species of raptor. Some of this for this film is probably boils down to the fact that what was marketable, and with a Velociraptor being more known, it probably seemed more reasonable to upscale the raptor and make it scarier. So much of everything in this film brings it all together, whether it's the gritty mood it brings, or the downright iconic soundtrack by John Williams, which breathes so much life into this film in pure wonder. Let's take a sample of this gorgeous soundtrack. Character development is another strong point for this film, with a cast of Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum, and Laura Dern. Every character is distinguishable in terms of personality. Dr. Grant, purely based towards his love of being a paleontologist, so committed towards the field to the point to where it's all he knows, and he shows lack of interest towards having kids or being around them for that matter. this of which develops in a sense in this film. And then you have Dr. Ian Malcolm, which is best described as pessimistic, and considers multiple outcomes to the scenario of this park, and happens to be my personal favorite character, flat out iconic delivery with his lines. Jeff Goldblum was flat out born for this role. I mean, that's all I've got to say about his role in this film. And even if Jim Carrey, who auditioned for the role, had took the role in this film, I can't imagine how different he would have changed this film. The complexion would have completely changed. One could wonder how that would have played out, but I, for one, call Jeff's portrayal as perfect. So I don't question the what if at all. And then you have Ellie Sattler. Now in the book she's portrayed a little bit different, but here in the movie she's portrayed as Dr. Grant's love interest, and a female that isn't exactly a damsel in distress.
It ought to be me, really, Guy.
Why?
Well, I'm, and you're,
Portrayed as bold, intelligent, and willing to take on daring tasks, even when she's separated from Dr. Grant. Every interaction of these characters feels natural, even if it's Grant noting that Dr. Malcolm is flirting with his woman. However though, Malcolm does not pick up on Grant and Ellie's relationship instantly.
I'm sorry. You two are, yeah.
Despite this annoying Dr. Grant, this doesn't become a deal breaker in their friendship in the long run in the series. When I watch this movie, I can't imagine an alternate universe where this film didn't become such legendary status. As said earlier, it's the bar. Every dinosaur movie in the future and moving forward would have to compete with Jurassic Park whether it's trying to or not. It's the lingering curse of future dinosaur movies. It reminds everyone that dinosaurs should be portrayed as much more than just hungry man-eating creatures that can't get their belly full of humans, but rather a species adapting to a new world and learning to survive in a world ruled by mankind. Jurassic Park has produced 5 sequels, starting with the 3 Park movies and the following World movies. So here's the reality and truth with Jurassic Park. It is influenced so much, not within its own realm. I mean, obviously we have Netflix TV series, video games, and toy lines that are easily available at any store you go to. Then again, to the side of that, you also have several knockoff video games and knockoff series that are all basically trying to ride the coattails of Jurassic Park itself. And some of those are so bad that you want to love them, and I do love them. It's kind of bad. I mean, those sci-fi original movies are a good example of this. If for some reason you have never seen Jurassic Park, please take 2 hours out of your life and subject yourself to this film, because it is significant and it is timeless. Thanks for watching my view on Jurassic Park. Lost World Jurassic Park and other reviews are coming in due time. Y'all have a great day. Peace.